The whole point of every process in every book we've written is to help you find the vibration of what you've asked for. So, as you talk about it as if it is, and can find the feeling place of that, then it has to be. But sometimes you have so much realism going on that when you talk about something that is, but really isn't, there's an awareness that it isn't, and then a feeling of contradiction. Nouns, tam, vayos. There are those who say, if I fake it or pretend it even before it is, then it must be. And we say, you can't fake vibration. The vibration is real. Ni, nay. Here's the difference. You laid it out so clearly that we can speak of it easily. You talk about what you want and why you want it, because of the pleasure the conversation gives you, not because you have an ulterior motive of trying to make something happen. Because when there's an awareness that you're talking about it in order to get it to move from over here to over here, now you've activated where it is in the mix. But when you talk about it for the pleasure of talking about it, not because you're trying to make something happen, then you don't activate the absence of it, and the vibration is pure. Did you hear that? That is really bid. Asheron, Dami, Tafings, Ban, Assestin. You see, you downs, out and serving shines. You get to the point where you begin to recognize that everything that comes to you is coming in response to something you're doing. Do you know that there are diseases that are vibrational matches to fear, and there are diseases that are vibrational matches to frustration? And we've got to tell you, you want this one, not this one. And naums batan in planning in asroshroti. Do you know that there are traffic accidents that are vibrational matches to despair and total disempowerment? And there are traffic accidents that match frustration, and there are traffic accidents that match anger, and there are the absence of traffic accidents that match appreciation. Nine dreaming, anachi, beninum, el washo. In other words, everything that comes to you matches where your average vibration is on those subjects. See how it works? Everything that comes to you is evidence of your vibration. These things are always true. What you feel and what you receive are always a vibrational match. And sendis, and these will attend, one viewing dance. So we will never concede that you're as happy as you can be, and we wouldn't say that about ourselves either. There is always more room to become more aligned with that which you have become. You must find a way of becoming a vibrational match to what you've asked for, not to the reason you asked for it. The reason you've asked for it, you're already a match. That's why you're hungry. Nandon shans. The reason you're asking for it is that you've already become a match to what you don't want. That's why you feel the consternation, the struggle, the embarrassment, the overwhelming feeling. That's why you feel the anger, the resentment, or the blame. That's why you feel the depression. Naus, mens, nan, nans, autos, neverlange. In other words, step 1 causes you to ask for something, and step 3 is you've got to get in the vortex. You've got to get inside the vortex where the answers are, where the alignment is, where the circumstances and events have already been aligned, where the solutions are. You have to be a vibrational match to the answer, not to the problem. Nimin, arms, matter on this seal. You can't set your radio dial to 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 FM. Nine the entrances. Najim. And we don't want to make any of those radio stations angry with us, but one of those frequencies is in the vortex, and one of them isn't. Draw your own conclusions. Talk radio outside the vortex. Beautiful music inside. Mamze, Dindian shrew. So when you get your mind around this, and you realize that you are a being with two vibrational vantage points that are, in every waking moment, playing off of one another. Then you can understand why you feel the emotions you do. When you feel joyful, it's because there's no resistance within you. When you feel painful, or even if you have physical discomfort, it means there's resistance within you. Naniseu, forus, natan jesu. And that resistance is your attention to something that has a lower frequency. That lowers the frequency of your vibration and holds you in here, this, an unnatural place. It is natural for you to be in the vortex, and the reason we can say this so unequivocally is because this vortex of creation is so much bigger than the vortex of creation that you've got going on. Wanj, Dao, Nanum Vin, Moen. In other words, when you are exploring in your physical form, the whole purpose of this exploration is to add to the whole of who you are. So when you explore and you add to, but you don't go, well, let's be clear, you go eventually. Because when you have your croaking experience, the vortex will take you, and you will feel the ecstasy of releasing all of that resistance. Free, 90 minims, house. But we just don't think you should have to croak in order to get in the vortex. And that's what this gathering is about. We call this the art of allowing. Kwaming, this three. Anasuraningstand. Manu, Bapos. The art of allowing myself in my physical form to be a vibrational match to the larger part of me. The art of no longer doing that thing I do, beating that drum I beat, keeping active within me the thought, and therefore the vibration that is contrasting or contradicting the vibration of who I really am, which slows down my vibration, which keeps me from the vortex, and which gives me the indication of negative emotion. Dandos, minds, matikte and wedros, mandamingte, ayatos soul. So is it the negative emotion that keeps you out of the vortex? No. The negative emotion is your indication that you're not in the vortex. The negative emotion is your indication of a lower, slower vibration. Seen, Patros, Arvin, Ninu, lower and slower than who, than the masters and God, than the good ones. Lower and slower vibration from who, lower and slower vibration from the larger part of you. All, part, Nenla means stained. You're the one through life who sped your vibration up. And once you've sped your vibration up, you've got to keep up with it. Because there is no regression. There's no going back. Now, the things. Me, you cannot live life and know this, and the larger part of you become it, and then say, never mind. You can't do it. You cannot be less than life has caused you to become, and if you attempt it, you will feel the negative emotion that is your indicator. When you're doing an unnatural thing, you're holding yourself back from what you have become. Nice to know, right? You must have wondered, how do those ideas, those desires, those hopes and dreams, and those vibrational realities get into your real-life experience? How do you turn those thoughts into things? How do they become relationships and experiences? Minely, Batarauche. How do I get the money in the bank? Abraham, I want to get it out of the vortex and into the bank. Okay, how do I do that? Bantwan. The way you do it is through the natural laws of the universe. The way you do it is by not keeping it out of the bank. That's the thing we want you to understand. You just have to let the door open. Stop keeping it out of the bank. Ban, bung. Naisukams, Bani. Now how's that? Don't do that anymore. That's not what we're saying. We want to talk about what you are wanting to do. Anai, nan, then the tons. and to end feeling an element of strategy out of those the way things move or become from an idea, from a vibrational reality into something you are realizing is by tuning your frequency to the realization of it. Nasterlin and Vaden Anustolu, the Hatrolin Stroll. Now we know you didn't want to hear that, but we needed to tell you. You are the realizers. That's the best word Esther can find. That's how manifestations occur. You realize them by finding a frequency. At first, when you find it, it may feel weird to you. Maybe it feels a little exciting for a moment. In fact, that's a moment of recognizing the full potential of your desire. You feel exhilarated about it for a moment. But if you don't shoot it in the foot, if you don't wrestle it to the ground and kill it with reality, if you don't, but it to death, but what about this? What about that? Just know that when you give your attention to things, momentum ensues, and sound, and pain. Eventually, you can create a belief so strong that it becomes your reality. You can also create a desire so strong that it becomes your reality. On the ends, then bounce. So what's happening to you, what really happens, what makes the difference? Is your belief so strong, or is your desire so strong? How does that play out? We say the law of attraction gives you the exact balance that you've got going on. You can go a long way in cleaning up those desires. You can go a long way in improving those beliefs. You can go a long way in sifting and sorting your current reality, looking for positive aspects. You can go a long way in looking at what is and finding the things that feel the best. 9 trans. In other words, you have much more discernment, much more capability to offer vibration than you've been practicing. And we've written a lot of books with a lot of processes to help you practice. We are impressed with the application you've been offering. Nigel. But today we want to say to you, it's so much easier if when you wake up in the morning, you just say to yourself, I could be wobble-free. I'm wobble-free for now. I'm wobble-free. I don't have to bring into this day the things that were bothering me yesterday. I don't have to, oh there it is, I brought it in already. On the evening. When we first started talking to Esther about this, she didn't make it to breakfast before she was wobbling all over the place. And Shireen, Natios, 9, so Annie's was show to observe. No. In other words, you've got lots to think about, and you've got these practiced thoughts. We don't want you to be hard on yourself about beliefs that aren't serving you, but we do want you to be aware of which beliefs serve you and which don't. Nando. Esther will find herself moving through a day, and all of a sudden she'll notice she's not feeling so good. A subtle feeling of discomfort. She will stop now and say, oh, I just uncovered something that I've apparently been thinking about long enough that it surfaced just now. What was I just thinking about that gave me that funny feeling in my stomach? Then, Dad, until when that happens, that's a little piece of resistance showing itself to you. We're not really encouraging you to sit down right then and try to talk yourself out of it, because you'll only add momentum to it. But recognizing it and then, at the first opportunity, identifying what it is you do want relative to that. And then, the next day, starting out thinking about what you do want, you'll be really pleased with how quickly you can shift the vibrational frequency of your habits of thought. Then train. Then you can change your beliefs. Your beliefs are only thoughts you keep thinking. You don't have to continue thinking unhelpful beliefs. Nasalin Tetrabi and Nil me Prince. Esther will say, well, That was unpleasant and unnecessary. Unpleasant and unnecessary. 9. So, what we're really saying to you is, it is our powerful desire that you love yourselves as we love you. Enough that you are willing to stop torturing yourself with unpleasant thoughts. That you will stop accepting negative emotion as just the way life has to be. I see. Fine. You say things like, these are hard times. They are not hard times. Pain ones. Now, es ist tired of so Spain. You say things like, the economy is bad. The economy is not bad. The economy is an individual thing, and there are those who are thriving. Unclean. Naisini. And true. Might as well be you. When you let your world be a vibrational world, which means it's an emotional world, which means it's a thoughtful world, now your world can be one that vacillates between comfort and ease, power and certainty, eagerness and clarity, passion and love and joy. In other words, you're up there on that end of the emotional scale. You're not having to dip into the contrast, because you have enough contrast in that good feeling end. You like going from, oh, the satisfaction of not being overwhelmed, to the exhilaration of having a little more to do right now than you really want to do. In other words, that's really a nice blend of emotions, and you have the ability to control yourself in that way. And matidrenal by Chan. But you've got to stop. You have to stop making it about the manifestation and begin making it about how I feel right now. How I feel right now. How I feel right now. Because you don't have control over the manifestation, because you haven't exercised control over your vibration. But if you start making it about exercising control over your vibration, control over your emotion, control over your thoughts, control over your words, control over your general approach to physical life experience, what you're going to begin to notice is that you have control over all of the specifics of your life. Not just when, but where, and not just where, but who, and not just who, but when. You get to dictate every single part of your experience. You get to call the shots. You are the only one that ever calls it in, and you're the only one who ever holds it out and keeps it from coming. Most of our physical friends don't realize that when you ask, it really is given. That in the simple realization that you want something, always open, pathways light up, all kinds of non-physical help comes into being, all kinds of circumstances and events, and vibrational rendezvous take place. In the moment that you come into contemplative awareness of something that you want, if you could see an aerial view, you would never again worry, because in the slightest wish or hope, and certainly in those stronger desires, pathways light up that are so vivid that those of us who are aware of these pathways wonder why any of you would ever worry. And then we remember that the reason you worry is because you can't see the path. So, we want to make you aware of it. We want you to feel the path, even if you can't see it. Then, Tiny, then say, Esther will say to us from time to time, we'll light it up a little brighter, will you? Make it a little bit more evident. And we say, you say that you want that only when you're standing in the darkness and you can't see the light. But when you're standing out there, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you want everyone to get out of your way because you want to be the creator of your own experience. You don't want someone else doing it for you, but we just want to let you know no one else is doing it for you. But you have infinite intelligence helping you along the way, and if you could just be a little less aware of what's not going right now, the way you think you want it to be, and a little more aware of what is going the way you want it to be, so that you're tuning yourself to the highest frequency of your highest good, then those pathways would be more evident to you. And that, oh, that we want to stop for emphasis and punctuation, that is what the best of life is on. Ni entirely child will continue. So, do you have any idea we do? And we're not mocking you. Well, a little. Do you have any idea how many experiences you have called to you that you're not allowing to flow with the ease that is possible? And do you know the one reason why you're not allowing these things? Experiences, people, places, events, circumstances, even dollars, to flow to you in the way that you want. It's because you are fixated on the observation of what is, and you are letting the absence of what you want in your what-isness dominate your vibration, setting up a vibrational field that holds it a vibrational field. Non-dominant. He. So, you've got this push-pull thing going on. I want it, but I want it now. And I want it yesterday. And I want it so much, and the not having of it has me upset. That's basically what your vibration is for most of you. We love you so much, but we thought you might like to start this new year off knowing how to create your own reality. Because nobody else is creating your own reality. You see, that's why it's called your own reality, your own reality. You are the creator of your own reality, which means you are the vibrator of your own beingness, which means you are the thinker of your own thoughts. You are the perceiver of your own world. You are the attractor of your own experience. You are the maker of your own life. You are the uplifter of your own being. Nation, animals, man, all, day. Ni, Bachelor Soul. You are the magnificent genius creator who came into this physical body with the express intent of mixing it up, of looking around, of identifying what you want, of achieving vibrational harmony with it, and then taking glory, watching with reverence and appreciation and rambunctious zest for life, watching the components of your creation come into place, one by one, to in some cases surprise you and in every case delight you to power and the clarity and the worthiness and when you want something and you believe it, and you're on your way to it, and you're joyfully romping down the path on your way to it. When you go on vacation or you get on a journey, you get out on the road going someplace. You're not there when you first start. But you don't freak out because you're not there. You expect there to be some journey along the way. Lee, and adding, don't show the helviers, danus. But we have to say, friends, we love you very much. You know what's coming after that phrase. We love you very much, but you do complain on your journeys. You do. You complain on your journeys, and we take that as a good thing. Not as a bad thing. We mean it as a compliment in this sense, at very deep levels, sometimes so deep. You know things are supposed to work out for you. You do. And when they're not there, there is a sort of speaking out that is natural. We understand that, but we want you to know that a whole lot is working out before there is a manifestation that you can show to others. And if you can be a little less hung up on the manifestation that you want to show to others and more tuned to the feeling of adventure, to the feeling of joy, don't you just love it when you want something in general terms, and you don't exactly know how it will play out? Oh, that the reason that you want whatever it is to play out in more detail is because you will feel better, Nanshin, than true. Nay, they want, Paris, Opiru. So, you know how when you want something and it hasn't yet manifested, but you have this general sense of it, and then ideas start to come to you. Don't you like that feeling of ideas? Don't you like that feeling of inspiration? When that feeling of inspiration is accompanied or allowed on this basic platform within you of expecting good things to come, So if you could just develop a sort of general basis of beingness that goes sort of like this. I don't exactly know how it's going to be, or who it's going to be, or when it's going to be, or where it's going to be, but I know that it's going to be really good, and that I'm going to know it when I see it. In fact, I know that I'm going to know all the steps along the way, because feeling tantrum, wanna see. Now, Shane, it's not about the manifestation and the manifestation and the manifestation. It's about feeling your way along your way to the next manifestation and the next manifestation. Hear that? That's really an important thing, because if it were the other way, if it was just manifestation, I want it. Boom, I want it. Boom, I want it. Boom, I want it. Boom. We promise you this would be a seminar on demanifestation. I have 487 cars. Wayne Dyer. The oil is seizing up in most of them because I can't get to them every day. I have more property than I have been able to visit. The rats have moved in. I have more stuff than is manageable. That is what you would say to us. There are more people in my life, and there are more conversations to have than I have time to have them with. That's what you would say to us. Arta. So, have you been listening to us for a while? You know about vibration pretty much. You understand that the law of attraction is the engine that manages all of this, and that it is tuned to vibrational frequencies. Do you understand that everything has a vibrational frequency? Do you understand that your manifestation that will soon manifest has vibrational frequencies, and that if before it manifests, you achieve vibrational harmony with the frequency of it, then it comes to you faster? Do you understand that abundance has a vibrational frequency? Nasharin, Anrakte, Selrostein, Armistraus. Yeah. And can you imagine what it feels like? What would the vibrational frequency of abundance feel like? If you were going to put words to it, it would feel like ease. It would feel like freedom to choose. Certainly, it would feel like eagerness. It would feel like clarity. The vibration of abundance feels like fresh air. It feels like a clear path. It feels unlimited. It feels always flowing. It feels abundant. Abundant, abundant, meaning never ending, always flowing. It doesn't feel pinched off, and it doesn't feel like jealousy, and it doesn't feel like worry, and it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like fun. It feels like sureness. It feels like certainty. So let's say that you're standing in a what-isness of less abundance than you want. If you can take your attention away from your perceived manifestation of not enough, and you can focus upon something else that feels like fun, or something else that feels unlimited. In other words, you can use subjects other than the subject of money, which may feel like not enough every time you think about it. You can focus upon other things that feel like clarity, that feel like fresh air. You can practice the seed vibration of abundance by staying off the subject, if the subject holds something different from you. Andy, you see what we were talking about a while back? We said if you're working on abundance, if abundance is something that is important to you, then take money out of the equation. Because there is so much abundance that is abundantly around you that you can tune yourself to the frequency of that. What's something else you want usually? It falls into a handful of categories. You want money, you want a lover, you want someplace really great to live. You want a body that feels good. Maneurum, Barobi. Naura wow, Bahias. Agitrum. Bandante, Bandin, Wajimaos. So let's say that your intent is for a lover who isn't there. A lover? What does a lover feel like? What does it feel like? What does being in love What does a lover feel like? What's it feel like? Exhilarated. High. Feels happy. Feels high. Feels appreciation. Damn, pretty damn good. Feels like well-being. Feels like homecoming. Feels like security. Feels like appreciation. Feels like being appreciated. Feels effortless. Feels like ease. Feels natural. Feels like desire. In other words, if you can get to the general vibrational reason behind what you want, which is, why do I want it? The question, why do I want this thing, will bring to you the answer. Mundo, attens, aussieht penalty. Ein suppose. Then you can, we know you can, begin practicing the vibration of the manifestation that is coming. Now here's the thing that we know that often you don't know that we so want you to know, and that is that everything you've asked for is coming. And the only question is, how long are you going to keep yourself from it? That's the only question. So, do you sense that we sense? Do you understand that there is abundance, immeasurable abundance, not recognizable by most of you, abundance not yet experienced? Let's just put it that way by most of you. Abundance for you, vibrationally queued up, and that all you've got to do, the only thing you've got to do is to practice the vibration of it, and it makes its way to you in so many different life-giving, fun ways. But you've got to practice the vibration of it. You are more than you see in these bodies. Your source energy is extended out here. But even when you are here looking into your physical format, more than the you that you think is looking. There's a source energy part of you always looking with you, through you, with you. So in every moment in time that you are having a conversation, this larger source energy part of you is there in the conversation. And you can tell by the way you feel how intertwined you are vibrationally, how resonant you are with the whole of you, or you can feel through your emotions how much of who you really are you're pinching off because of your current opinion. Now your opinions are really valid, they are very important, and we're not for a moment suggesting that you should come and be a puppet on a string, where source just flows through you and does all your thinking for you. But we would like to explain to you how you intended it when you made the decision to come. And as you decide to deliberately apply your awareness that you are a vibrational being, that you are an extension of source energy, that source energy is flowing to you and through you at all times, that you have guidance within you that lets you know how much of that you are allowing in any moment, or how much of that you are allowing in any moment, or how this will maintain. As you begin to focus upon these very few premises that are law-based, that are universal, and begin to deliberately apply them from your point of knowing, it is our promise to you that your deliberate approach to life will be delicious, and you will never again be confused about how things are coming to you. You won't be confused about your life, and you won't be confused about anybody else's life. You won't be asking the law of attraction or anything else to be an arbitrary judge of you and everyone else. You won't be asking the impossible things that so many humans are asking, which is, let's just bang around together and let's manifest all over the place, wanted and unwanted, and then let's find some judge who is standing outside of us to evaluate the rightness or the wrongness of our behavior, or of our creation, or of our attraction, and then we will try to mimic whatever the Great One decides is the right way to live. And we say, nothing like that is anything close to what you knew when you made the decision to come into this time-space reality, because you knew that you are source energy, and you knew that you would be coming forth into a variety of contrast that would stimulate within you a constant new awareness of improvement. New desire would be born all day, every day within you. So we like to say to you that you are here as vibrational beings in a vibrational universe, experiencing the powerful law of attraction, which is responding to the vibration of all that is. And that as you are conscious that you are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe, then you can begin to enjoy what you came to live, which is the deliciousness of thoughts turning to things. That's why you live in this time and place, in this time-space reality, where your physical senses, these glorious unconscious to you in most cases senses, that explain vibration to you in tactile physical terms. What you see is a translation of vibration. What you smell is a translation of vibration. What you feel with your fingertips and taste with your tongue. What you see and hear and smell and taste and touch, all of this is an interpretation of vibration. You came to turn thoughts to things. You came to find vibrations and to calibrate to what you really want, so that the energy that creates worlds can assist you in the creation of what you are about. You are important to the expansion of the universe. You didn't come to fix something or to make up for something. You didn't come to fix a broken world. It isn't broken. You came for the joyous experience of delicious and deliberate conscious expansion. Anshe, Nan. So here you are in your physical bodies, magnificent physical bodies, right as you intended to be, exploring life, giving birth to more, and now wanting to calibrate yourself into vibrational accord with what you're asking for. Sometimes we know you come to a gathering like this, and you see a woman who seems pretty sure of what she's saying. She certainly likes the sound of it, and she's forceful and strong, and you might think, well, here's another person with a strong opinion, and maybe there's something of value for me. Maybe I'll take a piece of it. Maybe I'll apply it, and maybe my life will improve as a result of it. And that's all fine. That's what is happening all over your world. You're witnessing one another and learning from each other and experiencing benefit from one another. And we like all of that. But there's another thing that we like that can happen for you here, and that is when we offer a suggestion to you, when we explain to you the laws of the universe, and we explain to you that there's an inner being you, and there is a physical you, and that when there is harmony between the two, you feel wonderful. And when we explain to you that you are a vibrational being, and that when you have resistance because of what you're thinking about, your vibration is more sluggish because you've introduced resistance to it, and a sluggish vibration does not allow you full alignment with who you really are. And when we explain to you that full alignment with who you really are not only produces clarity and sure-footedness, but it is also a refreshment, that is really what life is all about. There you are, refueling and refreshing with this replenishing energy of Source. So then we offer to you a process like meditation. We say to you, if you can find a time every day to quiet your mind for 15 or 20 minutes, and by quiet your mind, we just mean no longer think the normal thoughts you think. And by no longer thinking the normal thoughts you think, we mean really quieting your mind so that you're not thinking any thoughts, because it's easier to think no thoughts than to try to think pure positive thoughts when you've been thinking something other than pure positive thoughts. It's easier to think no thought, maybe acting ill. So then we say, just listen to something that is boring, like maybe the sound of the air conditioner. Find something in that sound and focus on it. And when you do, if you really will, as you focus, sometimes your mind will wander. Sometimes it will take Esther 5 minutes to stop thinking about whatever the momentum of her thoughts are, and to focus upon the air conditioner. So your mind quiets, and when you stop thinking thoughts, you stop negative thought. And when you stop negative thought, you stop resistance. And when there's no resistance, your vibration rises. And when your vibration rises, you calibrate. You allow the natural calibration. You allow yourself to be a cooperative component to the frequency of your source, who, as it is gathering cooperative components, gathers you because you are non-resistant. Nashwain, Pandarayern. Nay, you see, the law of attraction can never gather a non-cooperative component. Law of attraction doesn't allow that. That's why we say cooperative components are being gathered. When you are meditating, your mind is quiet, and you become a cooperative component to your own high frequency. You see how it works, so you allow yourself that rising of vibration, and as you do that, after a day or two, or 3 or 4, or 5 or 10, or 20, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, what happens is you reach this state of non-resistance, where now the thoughts that your inner being is thinking about the important things in your life turn. You'll find yourself actually thinking the thoughts that your inner being is thinking about the things that matter to you. Sometimes you'll have an epiphany. Sometimes it's just a thought of something that feels fun to do. Esther will have a thought like, I think I'll move the furniture around again, and it sounds silly, but it's a thought that feels good to her. And we have a few stories we won't tell all of them to you here today, where that thought led to something that did something, led to something, and after the fact, Esther understood how she was receiving from her inner being thoughts that were the path of least resistance. In other words, your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want. And so as you find this new non-resistant place or state of being, your inner being will actually think a thought that will be easier for you to think. And as you think that thought, it will lead to that thought, which will lead to that thought. And before you know it, you're witnessing thoughts turning to things in your experience. So the point that we were making with all of that is, so now it's not just like someone who seems pretty sure about what she's talking about while standing on the stage. Now you have first-hand experience where you've quieted your mind. You've achieved vibrational connection or calibration with your own inner being. You have felt the impulse about something. You've followed through with it, and now you understand how it all works. It's not just a theory that someone has, it's something that you have experienced and practiced. And once you've experienced it with one thing, you can do it with all things. We so much want you to understand that life has caused you to ask for so many things, that you have enough in your vibrational reality to keep you living happily ever after for 20 or 30 lifetimes. In Pais, Nomus Druming Shashil. And that when you reach this place of letting your resistance dissipate and letting your calibration or alignment to who you really are be a more dominant part of your experience, those who are watching you will begin noticing more of the things that they've heard you talking about that you desire flowing into your experience. They will notice an uptake in the way you feel. Your mood will be elevated. You will be happy and alive about life. You'll be eager about things. Your timing will be really good. You'll find yourself feeling an impulse to leave your house at just the right time to accommodate whatever is happening in trafficking. You'll find yourself rendering with people, some people you know, and some people you don't even know, and you'll have the impulse to say something just at the right time that will be meaningful to them or to you, or to both of you at the same time. In other words, you will be tuned into the knowledge and understanding that your inner being has about where you are in relationship to all things you want. Darkterm, Nantterman pain. And this is what we really want you to hear. You will be witnessing the deliberate creation of your own life experience, and nothing less than that will ever be satisfying to you. You are a creator, and you are the creator of your own reality. And you've come with others to bounce off one another, but to come to your own conclusions of what you want. And it is our powerful desire that you begin living happily ever after right here, right now. Deprivation will never take you to anything that you want. There is no virtue in sacrifice. There is no virtue in putting yourself in a position of awkward behavior. You are powerful creators, and we are so happy to know you.